Hello, everybody. Hopefully you're ready for some more rambles. I'm your host, Rhiannon, and today we are going to be doing the hashtag tarot to the extreme. And this was originally started by Marlene Teresa, but I seen it from Rachele at Amethyst Ascension. So shout out to Rachele. And yeah, let's just dive in. So the first tag is modern versus vintage. So I, like Rachele, wanted to choose some decks that I haven't featured in some of my other videos. Let me push those out of the way so we don't have too much of a sneak preview. So for the modern, I chose the Fountain Tarot. And I was pretty sure this was going to be going OOP, but I don't know if it has yet. I think it might still be in stock. I actually purchased this at either TJ Maxx or somewhere like that. And I think that's why I thought maybe it was going to be going out of print, because they were obviously trying to offload it, right? If you find it at a store like TJ Maxx or Marshall's or whatever. So yeah, the backs are definitely very abstract. You can see the silver gilding. They're definitely out of order, but let's just dig in. Yeah, you can just see how definitely a modern deck, which I'm not very much of a modern girl, so I'm not quite sure why I got it. I think that I did really think it was going to go out of print, and I just got it as a collector. That card specifically reminds me of Lady Gaga so much. Nine of Coins. It is a beautiful deck, though, honestly. The Chariot. Seven of Cups. I can't multitask like Rachele and turn two cards at once. The Hermit. That is beautiful. Spooky, kind of. So, yeah, to me, I mean, like, look at that Wheel of Fortune. Definitely modern. If that is not a modern tarot or modern tower, I don't know what is. So, this was my choice for modern. A lot of these are upside down. Now they're all messed up. Okay, let's see. And then for vintage, and I think it worked out because they are like similar in size. Half of the, I guess, deterrent for doing some of these tags sometimes for me is just the mess that it makes, like getting all of the decks out, putting them all back together. So yeah, I like the magnetic closure on that. But for the vintage, I chose the Slow Tarot. This is like one of my favorite decks. I love this deck so much, by Lacey Bryant. And it just feels like the sepia colored backs. There's literally not one single thing I don't love about this deck, but I love the backs of the deck so much with those moths. But that totally has a vintage vibe. And then just like the color scheme, you know, look at that world. You can tell there's quite a bit of wear and tear on the edges here. It is like a, what is it called? Linen cardstock. My favorite card, always the Hermit. And just him holding that, you know, oil lamp is very, very vintage. Just the earth tones. It's very muted. So yeah. That Hierophant. Like, I don't have to love every card to love a deck. You know what I mean? Seven of Cups is a lot of times one of my favorite cards or determining cards in a deck. So, yep, that is my choice for vintage. I'm going to try to hurry through this too because I need to go let my daughter's 3 black wiener dogs out because they are on a cruise. I thought I'd throw in a little video of my grand dogs for you guys. Look how cute they are. Okay, so the furthest one over here, this is Charlie. Charlie! And then this fat one is George. And then over here, this is Isabel. She's longer and skinnier. Aren't they the cutest? Hi, puppy dogs. Hi. So yeah, my younger daughter's dog sitting here for the week, but I just come let him out during the day while she's at work. Grand dogs. Yes. Okay, so then what's next? New moon versus full moon. This one was kind of hard for me, so I chose the Moon Void Tarot for the new moon because that's really what a new moon is. It's the void, right? You don't see it. And then I chose for the full moon the Money Tarot because I think a lot of times at the full moon we're manifesting. So, you know, who doesn't like money? So these are the decks I chose for the new moon, the full moon. Let's start with the new moon. I loved this deck. Love this deck still. It's the 3rd edition by Stephanie Caprioni. I actually have an extra copy if somebody didn't have a chance to get this and wants it because it is now OOP. 81 card tarot deck. So there are some bonus cards in here. I could have chosen this for modern as well, but we'll just go with the new moon. It's just so cute. And I'm not even like a girl that really loves pink at all. And I just fucking love this. And I do love pinup style, like, you know, this card, the world right here. My husband is a hot rodder and he loved this deck when he seen it too. Of course, he loves the kind of pinup theme there. Little nudity. 7 of Cups. It's just so cute. Look at the backs of the cards, which are black, which is very much new moon, right? It's just so dainty and feminine and fun. And I actually did use this for a new moon reading. Actually, I think I used it for a full moon reading a few months ago. And it actually called me out quite a bit. And I wasn't expecting that. So it has a little bit of sass, which we love. Love these crystals. Kitty. So what a fun deck, huh? And I was just commenting on Rachele's video and asking her if she'd watched Wednesday yet on Netflix. If you have not watched Netflix or watched Wednesday on Netflix yet, I literally binged it in 2 days. It is so freaking good. Loved it. This actually, I got a little pin of the death card too. It's on my desk there, but it's so cute. So this is my new moon choice. And like I said, I purchased 2 because I knew it was going out of print, and so you can message me if that's a deck you have or want but don't have. For full moon, this is the Money Tarot by Eugene Vininsky. He is an indie creator out of Switzerland. He's the creator of the magical the Tarot of Magical Correspondences, as well as one of the Kabbalah tarots that I have. You can purchase from him on Etsy, Tarot Mania. And they are kind of a little bit pricier, especially with shipping, but you got to figure they're shipping it across the world. So this deck is kind of cool, really good for money magic. It's literally money from all over the world, like different monies from all over the world. I do have a certificate of authenticity here. 677 out of 1,000. So, yeah. And actually, so if this one's no longer available and you're looking for a copy, I do have an extra copy of this as well, sealed. So, yeah, it's very... I could have chosen this for vintage, too, honestly. So the background of each deck is money from different parts of the world. So, you can see that it's got the gilding, again, like a very sepia-toned, very vintage, but I thought for full moon, who doesn't want to manifest some money, right? Or if you're somebody that collects money, or you had, like, it seems like that's something that people used to do back in the day. So if this was something like you had a parent or a grandparent that collected money, this might be something that makes you feel connected to them. But again, perfect for money magic and manifestation. I'm sure the guidebook tells you like where the money is from. I actually don't even think I've ever even cracked the guidebook. But that is my full moon choice. Here's the guidebook just for reference. Okay, what's up next? Next is cute versus creepy. Also had a lot of different choices on this, but I went ahead and chose two of my newer decks. The Lupus Tarot or Lepus Tarot that I was sent by Witchy Cauldron, and the newer Guardian of the Night Tarot by MJ Cullinane. This is a Hay House deck. So we'll start with cute first. Oh, those are just flying right out. The backs of the cards are adorable. It's a hefty, hefty deck. So, oh gosh, I should have I could have chose that for my full moon. I forgot that the back of these cards had a full moon on it because, like I said, it's a newer deck to me. So definitely could have chose that for the full moon. Look at this cute little raccoon. I think I did a walkthrough of this, but I'm not usually big on animal themed decks. Sorry, I'm congested. I'm getting over a cold. But I just love these images. So yeah, there's a full walkthrough of this not too far back if you want to get more in depth. But for my cute deck, we've got this Guardian of the Night. What was I thinking? Should have chose that for full moon. And then this deck is literally so freaking creepy to me. Also, decks that I considered choosing for this was, let's see, Marielle. The Marielle Tarot has some creepy vibes to it, in my personal opinion. Like, the freaking blue gilding's beautiful. The backs of the cards, it's super well made. But yeah, it is just... Oh, and I couldn't remember the name of the movie it was making me think of last time, but I can now. Donnie Darko. It's giving very much Donnie Darko vibes, in my opinion. right? With Jake Gyllenhaal. That's a great movie if you haven't seen it. Kind of reminds me of the Skeksis on the Dark Crystal. It's kind of, this second time around looking at it, I guess it's kind of growing on me a little bit. But I'm not usually somebody who's into too much of the macabre or the creepy. It's not my thing. But it is some people's thing. So if you're into that kind of darker, but it's still like whimsical, I definitely think that you would be a fan. And they were just such a freaking joy to work with. witchycauldron.com. And yeah, that's my creepy deck. All right, what's next? Oh, on my table versus in the bag, which honestly, what's on my table, these are like my working decks, which you can see here. I keep a pile here, and then I've got this. Can we see it yet? I've got this. This is the one for in the bag. I got this in the gardening section at Ross or something, and that's where I keep my working decks. But for work, you guys, I really just mainly work with different variations of RWS. I need to be consistent, so I like to use a consistent image. This is actually the, what is this called? One of, I can't think of her name. Ethany Dawn's deck, Wild Unknown Tarot, I think. Or not Tarot, Oracle. But yeah, these are my, which it sometimes overfloweth, but those are my working decks. So I'm not really going to go into those, but in general, just an RWS. So I could have chosen a lot for in the bag or on the shelf, I guess we could say. But I chose the 5-cent tarot. I do love this deck. I actually worked with this deck quite a bit. It was on my working decks place for a very long time. You can see that the edges are like pretty worn. This is the first edition. Could have chose it for vintage as well. Kind of has a little bit of a steampunk vibe. I like it because it gives really good, you get your upright and your reversed meanings. So, for instance, this Wheel of Fortune's reversed, misfortune, right? Or if it's upright, destiny. The wands are called matches. Then the swords are needles. And the pentacles are buttons. So yeah. And I believe that I had gotten this off of Kickstarter. Maybe this might have been one of my first Kickstarter decks. I can't remember. But it's super duper duper worn in. And it came with this really cute bag. The 5-cent tarot bag. So that's my choices for that. Next is realistic versus fanciful. So I chose the Urban Tarot for realistic and Tarot of the Kingdoms for fanciful. The Urban Tarot is a US Games deck. It is a Thoth themed or Thoth system. So if you're looking for some more modern Thoth decks, this would be a good one. And you can see the backs of the cards look like a little city. They're an interesting size. So realistic for here. This is a real world deck. Like, there is so much real energy in here. Like, real life situations. Like, look at that Five of Cups, disappointment. Oh, cute. Ten of Swords, ruin, justice. So yeah, this is a very real deck. It kind of, the images of it kind of, some of them remind me of another interesting tarot that I have called the Law of Attraction Tarot, which I'm probably going to be creating a tag using that deck soon. I'm not going to say what it is, but I think it'll be an interesting tag for everybody. I'm just trying to figure out if I have enough of those style decks to make it a worthwhile tag. You know what I'm saying? The Urban Tarot. And then for Fanciful, we've got Tarot of the Kingdoms. I was sent this deck a few years back by a friend, Diana, and her friend is the one that created it, Paige Ozma Ashmore. It is, or was, available on Amazon. I don't believe she ever did a Kickstarter of it. If you like real paper cardstock, you will love this. This cardstock reminds me of the cardstock that I was just working with on the 5-cent tarot, like actual cardboard, no plastic. It's got a nice little hefty guidebook. A truly magical tarot deck. The colorful images create the perfect tapestry for rich, deep tarot readings. Every tarot lover will want this gorgeous deck. And it is really pretty. And I don't talk about it a lot, and you don't see this deck a lot from other people. So, like I said, I wanted to kind of follow Rachele and do some lesser known decks. That King of Water. Very mystical, very mythical. Yeah, this cardstock's great. I love it. No shine, no glare. That moon. So yeah, I don't have a dedicated mermaid deck, but I would say this would definitely get pulled out if I needed one. Which is interesting because my first tattoo ever was of a mermaid on my stomach when I was 18. Some fairies. It's just great, you guys. It's a great deck. And the cardstock is just a freaking dream. It's so soft on your hands. It doesn't eat up your hands. I mean, I have pretty big hands, so I can handle a pretty substantial size deck, but okay. And going in for new nails tomorrow, so this will be the last of the fall themed nails. I don't know if you guys ever noticed. So this is actually like a little sweater. And then we've got like the fall leaves and foliage on the these fingers. Aren't they cute? But I'm going to have to go in tomorrow and get some Christmassy, wintry themed nails. I'm not quite sure because I'm not really a fan of Christmas. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but new nails coming tomorrow. Okay, and then finally is quiet versus loud. And again, I kind of probably chose a lot of different options, but I decided to go for quiet, this new Misty Kaya Moon deck that I was gifted or sent. It's very minimal. So to me, that's quiet. And then for loud, I chose the Starman Tarot. Yeah, like this deck is, everything about it is loud, which I love. But let's start with, which is also a Thoth deck, I believe. It's been a while since I've worked with it. So for quiet is this Misty Kaya. These are supposed to be gold, but to me they're giving very much army green, which I'm fine with. But the creator, which I did an interview with, and she was so sweet. Because see, the back is definitely gold. But I'm sorry, that's green, which I'm fine with. But it was supposed to be gold, but it's not. So yeah, it's just very minimalist in my opinion, but like I was actually pretty impressed with this deck. Not gonna lie, I really do think it's well done. Cardstock's good. So that's gonna be my quiet deck. I did a full walkthrough of this just a couple weeks back, so you can go find that. It comes with a bag, a little crystal, and a guidebook. So for my loud deck, the Starman Tarot, I love David Bowie. And like, that is just the coolest box. Like, look at these images. They are definitely, and there's been a lot of talk from some of my friends here, Rachele and Courtney, talking about LSD and acid. These definitely give very much like acid trip, if you ask me, which I'll just chime in on my own experience. That looks like Beyonce a little bit. I did a lot of acid, a lot of LSD in the 90s, like too much, you guys. I couldn't even count how many times. It was literally like almost like a weekend, every weekend thing. My friends and I, don't ask me why there was so much LSD running through this little town of Ogden that I lived in, but like we were literally, we called it frying in the 90s. We were frying every freaking weekend. But I do really think that it did open up parts of my brain. I think psychedelics in general, whether that's, you know, psilocybin or LSD or whatever, these newer, not newer, but like newer to us because they were more like shamanic, the ayahuascas or whatever, they open up parts of your psyche and your consciousness that I don't feel like could be unlocked any other way. And I do think that it was integral to my basically fuck the system. Like I never participated in this system and I left it. I dropped out of high school. I did my own thing. I made my own way. And despite what everybody told me that I would never be successful or I'd never amount to anything, here I am living my actual best life. So I do really contribute a lot of that to those psychedelics that helped me to open up parts of my brain that I think we have a lot of power when we're working with those parts of our brain. Our consciousness, if you will. But yeah, it's a really cool looking deck, but it's definitely a lot. And even like if you read intuitively, it can be a little too much. Like it's just, there's so much going on. You're all over the place with it. But I love it. I'm extra, so I don't mind a little deck with a little extra. In fact, this, I might have to keep this out and work with it for a little bit because it's been on my shelf too long. I remember I ordered this on pre-order back in like 2019 or 2018, whenever it was that it came out. I couldn't wait. Look at the High Priestess. Very, very loud, but very, very like transcendental. Back when I used to do like pick a pile readings, or when I used to do readings for like the different signs, I worked with this deck a few times back then. In fact, I've been thinking I should probably get back into that again. I'm not sure. I'm on the fence about it, whether I want to put my energy into that or not. I kind of miss it sometimes, because for me, that would be when I would do those collective readings, that would be as close to me reading for myself as I would get sometimes, because I'll go long distances of time without reading for myself. So doing the collective reads can be nice for me too. So anyway, that's the Starman Tarot, and that is all we have for that tag. Thanks for Marlene for creating it, and thanks for Rachele for doing it. That's how I seen it, and we'll see you guys next time.